welcome you all to another session of Expert Talk hosted by Nitin. We had an earlier talk with Mr. Vikas Singh Pawar, F&B Services Manager at the Novotel Hyderabad Airport on 21st of June, where he gave us some insights into the trends or the changes that is happening in the F&B forefront in hotels, and also gave us some insights into the online food delivery by luxury hotels and how they are coping up to deliver the Swiggy Zomato way. And today we have with us Miss Ananya Dwivedi, who will be delivering a session on the future of restaurant business. And from your feedback, we came to know that students and hospitality enthusiasts are very much interested to know the job opportunities ahead lying for them. So for this reason, I also requested Ms. Ananya to take a small session or answer queries on job opportunities ahead. And going forward, I'd like to, Ms. Ananya, welcome you, Ms. Ananya, to this session. You are taking over the second expert talk, which was organized and hosted by Nitin. And let me introduce Ms. Ananya Dwivedi. She is working currently as an outlet manager at Hyatt Pune, and she is a graduate who did her BHMCT from IHM Hyderabad. She worked with her initial career, she worked with Ritz-Carlton Hotels. So if you all know, Ritz-Carlton is a premier luxury brand where she kicked off her career. And now, I think from the past 1.5 years or so, she's been associated with Hyatt Group of Hotels and is now posted as an outlet manager at Pune. And yes, we have in our session today, mostly it is our NITHM students who are enrolled into BBA, BSc, and MBA programs. And I also have some of my students from my previous college who were also interested to participate and know about the job opportunities or the future of this business ahead. And without wasting much of my time, without making wasting the time, like it's 3:10 already, I will hand over the session to our expert speaker today, Ms. Ananya Dwivedi, who will introduce herself and she will proceed with her talk. She also has a presentation with her today. So I will I'm asking everyone to keep your mics on mute mode, and once she delivers her session, we will keep the session open for question and answers, and at that time mic access will be given to you, and you are free to post your queries in the chat box also, and she will take your questions and answer them. Okay. I'll hand over the session to you, Ms. Ananya. Welcome you again to the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kiran, for having me here. I think I'm very excited. I told you the first time also that being here is really amazing, especially talking to the people who are just graduating. It gets me into a nostalgic moment where I was very excited to talk to somebody who is from the industry as now. So it just gives me a lot of pleasure to be a part of this session. So with that, I know if Kiran has introduced earlier in terms of that, but I would like to start with my introduction. And my journey has been short, however very adventurous, and a lot of learning is what I've gotten in my hospitality career. I have started my journey. I graduated from IHM Hyderabad, which is one of the best institutes in terms of hospitality, and I was very fortunate enough to go through the Voyage program, which is a management training program for the Ritz-Carlton Bangalore. And with those luxury brands working for 3.5 years, I got into the Hyatt program for a restaurant manager, which was again an amazing hotel in terms of luxury, in terms of the guest experiences. So here I would like to share something about the restaurant business. I know it has been a very tough year, especially for the people who are working and for the people who have just graduated, because people right now are actually getting into a way where they feel that hospitality is not working. But as I wanted to, Kiran, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I suggest that you keep the mic closer to you. Maybe that will help a bit.
Okay. Will it a little better?
Yeah, it is okay now.
Okay. So I just wanted to say that I know that hospitality people feel that right now it's not in a very good situation. But I would say that earlier when we were booming, for sure we're gonna boom back, and it's definitely gonna take time. It's not gonna take few months. It's gonna take some time, and I think we all also need to go on the same page where we know that first thing is that everybody has a desire to travel. That will never change, and a desire to have an amazing food will never change. So when you have these two things, then I think hospitality will never be one of the industry where you never go there. And even Kiran was telling me that there are also students who aspire, to be in the airlines, or they want to go to cruise, or they want to, do a certain thing in terms of just their, state thing. So as I mentioned, that till the time these two things are there in human blood, I think we'll never gonna be in the backside of it. So I have done a small PPT, and with that, I always make sure that the session has been really interactive. If you have anything, you can always unmute it. Ask me anything if you have any doubt in any of the slides, or you can put that in the chat box. So I have just kept it open. If you have any questions, I will also answer it at the same time.
Ananya, shall I share the PPT? Shall I put it on the screen?
Yeah, if you have it.
Okay, I'll do it. Yeah. Is the screen visible to all? How
Yes,
about you, Miss Ananya? If it is visible to you.
yes, it's very
Okay,
well
fine.
visible.
Let's go ahead.
So, as I mentioned, the restaurant business is actually coming back. Last year was the time where we thought, and we were actually not well prepared by the situation. But I think this year we are really fighting back, and we really want to have our restaurant working well. We are getting our targets again back to the similar. There are people who are going to coming back, because first thing is that we have got vaccines which has come up, which people are happy to take that. And especially the most important thing is, I think Leela Hotel started that first, is starting regarding getting all the employees vaccinated. Was the first model that anybody who will enter to Leela Hotels, everybody starting from the scratch till the restaurants, rooms, everybody would be well vaccinated. So started with Leela, then Marriott went up to it. That same Hyatt is doing the same. We all are getting our people vaccinated because once you would like to come to the restaurants, you would definitely want people who are serving you are healthier. People who are cooking food for you are healthier because they are very much directly contact to the things which you're going to consume. So that is one. Second thing which we are getting ready is mindset of the people is actually getting little prone to this. Now they know that if they're going to take a proper precautions, it will be more healthier for them to go out. And then the second thing is that they have been at home for about 1.5 years, and I'm sure that nobody wants to sit in a closed four walls. And the moment of making dalgona coffees and making this experiment, of cooking at home, I think we are very much tired of that. I did that last year for 2 months, and I was very tired, and I really wanted to go out. So that was one of the few points. So I would like to start with my PPT of saying that. So Kiran, if you can just move it to the first slide. So as I mentioned that the things have changed a lot, and we humans are prone to change, but not so much. We can change ourselves a little bit, and we need time. But I think last year to this year, we have changed ourselves completely. From being a little outgoing person, we have been restricting ourselves a lot. And whereas the most of the industry is one which has got affected the most, which was hospitality. And we have actually got into a lot of it's not only about hospitality. We're all together the tourism of not only India, of most of this countries have got into thing. Especially in India, we do believe in cooking food and having a homemade food. However, if you go somewhere outside in US, people would never want to, they barely in a week they prepare 1 or 2 meals at home. Rest all their meals outside. So the people there and to here we all have got affected and all time. So as I mentioned, the things which we need to start and make sure that we do well is sanitization of the people who are especially there inside the hotel and the people who are coming in. I still remember one of the examples that I would like to put. So I had a team of ladies. So we were about 9 ladies, and there was just guest dining in the restaurant. And by chance, just a basic thing, and he sneezed. And I still remember the lady server there. She came back and was like, "I won't work, ma'am. I want to go home because I'm very scared of this." So getting into the mindset of your own team and making them understand that it's one of the points, and it's one of the things which everybody is going through, and we need to get into the pace. So first of all is that we both have to wear masks. Guest has to wear masks till the time they're sitting in the restaurants. With that, the people who are serving has to wear masks, and which we have done is especially wearing 2 masks. It's difficult, but I think it's a safer option wearing double masks. Second thing which we do is wearing gloves and changing it in every hour. It's a little cost effective, but I'm sure that definitely it's going to save our people who are working in the restaurant because you touch a lot of things. And if you change the gloves in every hour, it helps you a lot in terms of helping you. So that is one which we did. We made sure that our employees are also wearing the hair mask. So what we do is that everybody who is working in the restaurant as of now wears their hair caps, which helps them in not having more contact of their hairs, or they're going to touch it. Or anybody who wears mask, we all have a habit of touching our hairs and making it. Once that is there, your one problem is over. Then making sure that our everybody who's there in the thing washes their hands regularly, especially our chefs, because they cannot. Every chef cannot wear the gloves all the time. It's not very healthy for them. For especially making sushis or making dim sum, they cannot wear it with the gloves and make it. So we made sure that we have a special alarm which happens in the hotel. After every 45 minutes, they go and wash their hands. So an alarm rings, all the chefs stand turn by turn, go and washes their hands. So the first thing which we need to understand about the changing business is hygiene, which affects a lot right now. Second thing is that we have started doing is earlier I think you all were aware of it, and it also there in your subjects, that whenever we used to have these rooms reservations or we used to have restaurant reservations, we taken advance money or in pre-occupation money, which we used to take it from the guests. We have become a little lenient in those aspects because we understand, we understand that people may change their plan in 10 minutes. What we have done is we don't take any advance for the reservation because we really want you to come back. As of now, in city like Pune, within 5 kilometers, we have about 10 hotels. 10 hotels, and all the hotels are established. So what we do is we have put down our prices little lesser than our regular prices. We have made sure that our prices in our hotel is for everybody. We have reduced our prices down to about 15%. And most of the hotels, because everybody wants that people should come to their restaurants or to their hotel for thing. So that is one of the points which we have made sure, because there are, I'm just giving you an example. There are 5 hotels and there are 100 people, and every hotel wants to capture those 100 people, and we want to increase our footfall because we want them to come once, taste our food, enjoy our service, and then come back again. So that's our basic thing which we need to do, is to make them ensure that they always come to us. A loyalty service which we want to give it to them. And the third and the most important thing I would say is the way you give an experience to the guest. It has never changed from last year to this year. The expectations of the guest has become a little higher. In one of the slides, if you see, I have mentioned that the urge of getting the guest has gone so much that people have actually extended, and the amount of investments which we do is more than the amount which we gain back from them. So our investment has gone more, and our revenue bases have gone. I would say that it has gone much better this time. So that is one of the points. And then we will definitely return back to the sessions, and there are also the points where Kiran, if you can move to the another slide. So as I mentioned about the safe spot for our guests, that everybody really wants to be in the restaurants and in the safer zones which they have. And in one of this, in the next slide. Okay, so as I was mentioning that we have low our rates in terms of the walking guests. Earlier, everybody who used to walk into the restaurant used to have a reservation and used to make sure that you should prior reserve your seating. So right now we are just taking few of the reservations with us. Then a second thing which we are more dependent on right now is our delivery items. So we have reduced that in the time where we only ask all our guests to at least have 45 minutes of delivery services. Earlier we used to take the more than time than that. Then we have actually most of the hotels have put no delivery charges, because we want everybody to order from us and get into enjoy the food, enjoy the experience, enjoy one of the best packaging from Hyatt, rather than going forward and ordering from a cheaper or a pocket friendly way of restaurants. Then the most important thing is we have reduced down our floor plans. We have got the restaurants which actually have these floor plans where there's been a very go-to statement by our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, saying that "Do gaj ki duri bahut hai zaruri." So we all have got through that. We at least have 6 feet of distances from one table to another, so that they can really enjoy their experiences. With that, our hygiene has been maintained. There have been very fewer people in the restaurant, but we have made sure that there's been a lot of diversity which comes in terms of our serving. We know that we have a lot of people, and diversity actually acts a brilliant way to get engagement with the guest. There's more variety. People want to know that where you're from, what your food is from, and then that's where you can actually understand what's happening with a lot of guests who comes in there. Would you like to change the slide, Kiran? So As I was giving the example before, that one of my team members said, I am very scared of, going to the guest because that guest sneezed twice on the table. Though it is a normal thing. Earlier, before COVID, also we all used to sneeze and cough. But post-COVID, just a small sneeze, creates a lot of, psychologically we think about, oh, I think this person is really affected. So what we have to do is we have to understand and train our teams moving forward, and making sure that they are welcoming to the guests, because everybody who comes down to the hotel, as of the minute they come down, their temperature has been checked, their oxygen levels is being checked. When they come down, there have been, from our side only, we give them a lot of masks. We give them, if they want to wear gloves, we ask them, if you want to wear, you can always have. Make sure that restaurants are being disinfected properly. There have been 24 hours of time which is being done. So, there's a lot of methods which is being improved by the same time. In terms of that, I would always say that a team has to be groomed really well. In terms of hygiene, because that's the best and the most important factor as of now in terms of our guest engagement. Here in the next slide. Okay, so here are the tips which we have it to increase, our revenues in terms of the hotels. So we make sure that, we have, the most important thing is that we invest more time, in terms of our training our team. So there have been time when it was so deep that we were not even able to train the team. We were not even able to have some sessions. These are best times when we have each our team members. We give them some training sessions on wines, on spirits, on food items. We have actually made sure that most of the hotels that we learn something new. So people who are working in food and beverage, we check for them if they are interested in going to front office, or if they are interested in being in one of the kitchen faculties, where they can, they can enjoy something, they can learn something new, they can learn some new cuts if they want, they can learn something, how to make a small thing which is called as panna cotta, help in bakery in asking the chef how to melt a chocolate. So that's a new thing which we all have gotten to learn. And the second thing is that we have done is we have increased our marketing of our hotels. Every item which we prepare in the hotel has been marketed. If you guys are in the meeting, and mostly after the meeting, I think you should definitely follow most of the hotel pages in the hotel. So you can do one thing, you can just open Hi Pune page, just check there, that what hotels are doing, what new they are putting it up, so that their hotels are being marketed well, so that their new items are being marketed well. So these are the things which are actually adding up a lot of a revenue to our thing. And the thing is that we have started doing a community hub. So we are turning our restaurants where a lot of people from the corporate, if they want to sit down, grab a coffee, they don't want to sit and do their meetings at home. So we have made a small restaurant hubs where these people can come in, enjoy dining, have a small meeting with a proper social distancing, and have a good experience in terms of the meal, and go through the same. Then if you I would like to give an example of the Marriott hotels. They started this Marriott on Wheels. If you open any of the Marriott hotels, I really love the initiative, and the initiative was Marriott on Wheels. So they put a red bus, very attractive looking red bus, where you can actually move it around, and they were giving these meals to the people who are hungry, who are not being able to afford a lot of food. So these Marriott on Wheels were initiative and a social thing which we did it, where they were taking food from every hotel. So in Bangalore, they have about 6 hotels, Marriott hotels. Every hotel each day used to give a meal to the poor people who are not able to afford it. So so all these good things and good work where people actually want you to be seen in there. A small thing like I would like to give you an example. I saw my food and beverage director was actually watering plants one day, and I just wonder that why was he just doing that, because he can just ask anybody to do it. So he told me that it is one of his passion of taking care of the nature, and rather than he was doing at home, he thought that he'll just water the plants in the hotel that day. So it's just one of the small things which creates a lot of difference, is what we can do right now. Kiran, the next page. Okay. So here are some of the inclusions which we want to do it. What hospitality is doing and what tourism as altogether is doing. That we're making sure that we want to capture a good variety of people, and everybody who comes to us is a one focus of earning revenue, earning a good experience, and the third thing is that we make sure that they are very hygienically done. You know, anything around them is hygienic. Anything which they wanted to do and they have a good knowledge about the product is what which we wanted to do it. Kiran?
Yeah, Ananya, I'll stop the screen sharing.
Yeah, please. And we can be open for our questions now.
So I request the participants to uh, post some questions uh, related to restaurant business and future job opportunities to our guest speaker, and she would be happy to answer your queries. Ananya also has a small video which she would like to share.
Correct.
So,
So maybe if we can ask, do a question answer session, and then we can do the video as per if everyone is fine with it.
you are free to post the questions in the chat box as well. And,
If you wanted to post the question on the chat box, or otherwise you can just do one thing, that you can just unmute yourself and ask anything. Nobody has any questions.
we'll wait for the questions to come up.
I hope you guys are not sleeping. That's the worst thing I can actually have right now. It's a good time.
Any questions coming in, students? Post your questions on the chat box, or you can unmute your mics and ask your questions. You're all curious about the industry, right? About your job opportunities. You must be asking questions. Come forward and ask some questions. And as you all know, Ms. Ananya, she is an expert in her hosting skills. And what I've seen from her LinkedIn profile is that she has very good multitasking skills and a very positive attitude. And her colleagues have praised her that she is very flexible at work. And that one other thing that I saw in the website, in the LinkedIn, was that she makes sure that no guest leaves her restaurant without a smile. That is why
Yes,
she
that
is
I made sure.
the outlet manager today. Uh, let's students, please come forward
So
and
Kiran,
ask
I
the
have a
question.
question coming from Shreya, that she wants to know that something regarding the management training program. So Shreya, I just want to tell you that management training program, when during our college thing also, I used to be very much into that, and I used to ask all my seniors during my first year program also, that what was one thing which which I should do. I should practice it from the day one, or how should I do it? So I still remember he was a management training program for GMAP at that time, which is now married. So he told us that it's all about being yourself, and the best thing is that everything you do in your college is what gonna affect you in terms of your management training program. So when I was there, I was the president for Rotaract Club, and I used to take care of food and beverage committee, everything, any activity in the college. I was a part of it, not because I just wanted to add it up in my resume. It's just because I just wanted to get myself into the management training program. Management training program is one of the programs where they want somebody to have a good communication, have a good knowledge about their subjects, and also always ready to learn something. You cannot just restrict yourself. If I say I don't want to restrict myself only to food, I wanted to, excel in food, and then I wanted to go forward for liquor, for beverages. So that's how I think the management training programs are there. Just make sure that your communication is to the point, your grooming is to the point, and then you enjoy and then you enjoy what you do. So if you love being in front office, or if you love being a culinary expert, just do it. So that is one of the things. Then I have the question from Miss Francis, and that is regarding when would the hotel start hiring again for the jobs? On my news on management training hiring. So as of now, Miss Francis, she's very mask. Good job. So Miss Francis, most of the hotels as of now, they have take a little step back in terms of the management training program, uh, just because, and we will start for sure, if not this year, most probably the next year, because management training program is putting a lot of money is involved in terms of a candidate. And however, the hiring is still on. There are a lot of hotels which have started hiring, uh, a lot of entry levels which has been there. And if I think if right now it's all about getting into the hotels, and then they can start growing, because there are a lot of hotels. I have myself seen people entering with me as in, as in food and beverage attendant, and right now they're assistant restaurant managers. So it's not a very difficult thing which we can do. We can always get into there. So as of now, is the best thing is to get into the hotels, and then you can definitely go forward and ask them. There are a lot of hotels which go into the in their internal programs for management training, so they can go for that also. Then my third question is how to control COVID pandemic from banquets. Mostly in banquets, have many people will join, and they are from place specially. Some people don't vaccine yet. So that's a really good question. Uh, Jan Ratna. That's a really good question, Jan Ratna. So what we have started doing for banqueting is that we have made a very few people of 50 people, or right now we are just into 30 people. 50 is maximum. So what we have given them some slots to get into the banqueting hall. Anybody who comes down to the restaurants or anybody who comes out to the banquet has to get their checkup for their the temperature check, their oxygen check. And right now we are asking everybody to at least have one vaccine, because everybody, most of the slots are open. Your one vaccine certificate has to be there, which has to be given by the main host. If by chance if we don't have a vaccine center, we are not allowing more than 20 people permanently. They have to wear mask. Okay. And in terms of the food, once the buffet is open, we do 10 people at one time, and they have to make sure that the gap is being maintained. Event of 50 guests, sometimes we have about 10 of our staffs standing in the banquet. So 10 of our people standing in the banquet, because we want that everybody should maintain distance. Okay. We More than that, we have a local government people who just comes on and check up that is the wedding happening properly, and if they're not doing it properly, they have a hefty fine, not only to the hotel, it's to the even to the people who are not wearing mask. So mask is mandatory. Second thing is when the buffet opens, 10 people on the time. And the third thing is that everybody has to stand at a distance. And for that, even the hotels have been very strict, super strict, that we understand that our revenues is important. But the most important thing is that you don't want COVID cases to come up. And the minute the event gets over, we lock our banquet halls for 24 hours. So it's been well sanitized and it's been locked for the same day. So I hope I have answered your question, Chandratna. The another question is, good evening, ma'am. How are the job opportunities and facility management sector in hospitality industries? So the facility management sector is actually, I think it's going to take a little time in those aspects. I don't want to discourage you or something. I really want you to actually start getting into more skills if you want to do some online courses, because facility management will start minute we have our things set. So it will start at the same time where So our facility management will start the minute we have our things done, where a lot of people, when the people will start coming from the corporate world, when people will start traveling more often, then the facility will go more up. So it's going to take some time, but by the time if you want to come down to the hotels and enjoy your time, so I think you can do at that time. Then the another question which comes up is what would be the option after I pursue MBA in hospitality? Though I'm interested in sales, can I do uh, that with the same degree? In terms of your MBA, actually, I was also doing a post graduation in terms of my marketing sector with Nashik Mutual University. So it was a long distance which I did and I completed. It was the thing. I think an extra education is always adds up, to your resume, and when you talk about it, it just helps you a lot. So if you are interested in doing that, there have been a lot of colleges who will help you in your post graduation, and if you want to do it at a distance, I think it works in the similar way. It will help you a lot and will get you into the place where if you want to do it in sales, I would suggest you to do it while you're working, because sales is all about your experience in terms of your events once you start working. Because I think sales, if you read whatever book you have, but the minute you start working in the field and you start going and creating your guest contacts, that helps you a lot. So that is about a sales MBA. Anything else you want to ask, Sumit? And we have Roshni asking what is the protocols to be followed when we are joining a hotel during this time. Roshni, the protocol which will be coming to you, I think if you're asking in terms of your hiring aspects, the first protocol is right now all the vaccines has been there. What we want to do is we want you to, get yourself vaccine first, get yourself slot 2 if you want. That will be the first thing which they want. Second thing is that hotel themselves will train you a lot in terms of your sector, where they want you to have a proper training in terms of hygiene. Hygiene is the first and the most important points in any hospitality right now. So they'll give you a lot of training, a lot of things where you will be learning in the hotels if you want to join now. And then a lot of hotels which are opening for the vacancies. When we are even we sometimes open it and we get a lot of candidates. You won't believe, in the month of February, in Pune we did open campaign where we want food and beverage professionals to come down and have an interview. So people have started hiring again. So definitely come down. Ma'am, what are the major? Okay, then it's Shreya. Minimum qualification that is required for MT program. There's no minimum qualification which is there. You just have to have an graduation degree from a hotel management background, and then it's just you who gets in there. Just make sure that Shreya, in whichever field you're interested in, your knowledge is up to the date. You are ready to learn something new, and you are very excited in whatever you do. You are always happy, smiling. That's the key to get it in. On average, how many guests come to the restaurant on daily basis now? Uh, Suchara, Manikonda. Suchara, I just wanted to say that, I think after a long time, we have started getting a lot of guests, especially from 15th of June onwards in Pune. We have started getting a lot of guests who wants to come in, who wants to enjoy, as I mentioned in one of my sessions, saying that, the urge of food is the most important urge which we have all up now. We want to sit somewhere, enjoy our time, have a good experience, good ambience, and people want that. And we have got a lot of covers. So I just wanted to share one amount. So yesterday we did a sale of a lakh in terms of all our restaurants. So if we are making a lakh in the restaurant, I think we are not doing very bad. We are in a good shape, getting better right now. and how internship will help in hospitality. Internship helps a lot. Internship gives you a very clear idea that what you wanted to do, and which sector you want to be in. Which are you really interested? Because sometimes we read our topics in. So, for example, if I'm front office interested, I read what is front office altogether. But when I start working in the industry, right, I start getting that okay, my interest is more towards probably housekeeping, because I think I find that more interesting. So when you start doing a lot of internships, helps a lot to understand that what you really and actually want to do right now. So that's the internship perks, that you know what you have to do. And some people also realize that either they really want to be in hospitality or not, or they want to change their sector and go into something else, because they feel that that is not something which they may do. But I think once you go to internship, you enjoy a lot, and you get to know what you really want to do. During the lockdown period, how did the restaurant team managers manage to achieve the budget? So during the lockdown period, we actually cut down on our achieving numbers. We all knew that it's gonna be a little on the side, but we made sure that we are well boosted up. We make sure that we do a lot of deliveries. We did so many deliveries that we reduce our prices and make sure that it's economical, it's friendly for people to have it. So delivery is what helped us, and the people who don't want to stay at home. So when we were working during those times, we got people who don't want to stay at home because they were so bored and they just want to come down to the hotel and enjoy some time. They just want to be in the rooms and enjoy, and they want to have some good food. So I think those people kept us going on. And of course, delivery is the most important thing, which kept all the hotels going on for the same. And what are the protocols to be followed? I think I answered that. Does restaurant have a new policy for staffs during they are in COVID risk? Uh, yes, restaurants have the new policies. Obviously, what we have started doing is, as I mentioned in one of the things, that we have started making sure that every people in our teams are being well trained that what hygiene is all about. First is your own safety, and then you make sure that your guests who enters to the hotels are being well cared. COVID vaccines are being taken properly. Everybody in the hotel as of now has taken one shot, so they have been jabbed once for sure. And the second thing is that we make sure that the people who are there in the hygiene thing, they are doing it really well. There have been proper protocols which are being followed. There have been proper instructions which they do, and we make sure that there's a list where they have to tick it off that okay, this is what they have done, tick. This is what they have done is tick. Because one thing will lead to somewhere where you may have to get into a government protocols where one person gets into in got positive, then we have to actually shut down that full area, and it is again the loss of one people, and that person definitely must have come in contact with them. So in that ways we lose our people. We don't want them to get sick, and we always want them to be healthy. And the second thing is, and the most important thing is, what we have done is we have started having a lot of immunity boosters which we prepare for our own people. In our cafeterias we have kadha, which is not very yum, but it just helps you a lot in terms of immunity booster. So we get those. And everyone in the meeting can.
I have another question in the chat box here. And it's by Venkata Krishna Reddy. He's asking, how successful was the idea of delivering the food through online platforms? Will the hotels continue to do it even after things come back to normal?
I think the online forums are always good. Even I think we started doing it post-COVID, but there were a lot of hotels which we were doing. Post-COVID, there were a lot of hotels which have started doing it because I think. I just want to ask anybody who wants to go to a good restaurant. Most of us open Zomato and see what's the rating of that restaurant. Most of us, when obviously because going to a five-star hotel is you have to look at your pocket, yeah, first. I look at my pocket when I go to any other hotel for an experience, because it's good money which you're gonna spend. It's obviously it's gonna be an occasion which you're gonna spend it for. So you make sure that you go to the best place, so that you don't even feel once or that your money which you have invested has to be a little fake, So the thing is that we always go and see what's the rating, what's the review of the restaurant is, how many people. Sometimes I've seen people reading, 50 comments, and then they say, I read that your potato was not nice. So I was like, sir, it's very nice. I think you should definitely try that again. So there are people who are very concerned about reviews. So obviously we have to be in those forums. Those forums gives us a bigger review, and especially in some people occasions we play a lot of good parts. So yes, Zomato, Swiggy added a lot of value to our brands, and added a lot of values in terms of getting a lot of orders, because during online orders nobody wants to go to the hotel page and wanted to call somebody. That person will give you 20 lines in English and will explain you what that dishes is. It's better to go on app. You just go get it one, and your order is being delivered. So that is one. So I think it helped a lot to us. And the last is in present situation, do you have opportunity in internship? Yes, we have an opportunity in internship. There are a lot of hotels which have started opening, and I think the best time right now is we all have LinkedIn, and I think LinkedIn had helped us in all the ways. So we opened, there are a lot of people who have started putting vacancies there. Sometimes if you want, you can follow me if you want on LinkedIn, or you can follow anybody. There are a lot of people. I follow a lot of people. I always say that there are vacancies coming up. People open that we are ready to hire. So start going on there. Start clicking. Get yourself interested. I think if you give 5 interviews or 10 interviews, you'll start knowing what they want actually from you, and you'll be well prepared. So just don't get scared of giving an interview. It's gonna help if you wanted to get hired, or if you don't want to get hired. It's all about going and getting experience. See what they wanted to ask you, and internship always works. As I mentioned, is going to give you a proper idea what a hotel is, and you can definitely decide that which department you wanted to go in, and make sure that once you start doing an internship, has to be from a hotel which will actually tell you what an hospitality would be. I would accept you to go for an five-star hotels for any of your internship.
Yeah, Ananya, I have one question for you, for the students. As you know,
Mm-hmm.
ours is a tourism and hospitality college. So we
Mm-hmm.
have students enrolled into tourism and hospitality program, both BBA and MBA. So students are interested to know how good is this retail F&B sector, and how different is it from the hotel outlets, and what are the pros and cons of entering into this segment to start their career.
So retail food and beverage is it's somewhat similar to your restaurant business only. It's all about grabbing a lot of people and making sure that, I think in any business, two things are very important for, even for the people who are working there, is to know your product. If you know what you wanted to sell off, you're confident enough to do it. Okay, and the second thing is marketing. So if you first thing is that we have to market ourselves first. We should know that how what we need is what is being taught to me during my first sessions of my voice program is, I used to have a training manager and she told me, "Nana, jo dikhta hai wahi biकता hai." So once you are being very very much visible in the market, you can definitely sell what you have. So as of now, in this post-COVID or pre-COVID, the only thing which keeps you going is you know your product, what you are selling, and you know how to market it very well. And for that, I always suggest, I myself on my Instagram, I have been following about 100 hotels. Okay, not only from Pune city, I follow hotels from Bombay, Pune, Mumbai. All the best brands are being followed by me, because every day you see something on your Instagram, you see, oh my god, they're doing some amazing job. Oh my god, some standalones are doing some crazy things where they're pulling out a lot of guests. Some retails area. So if I would say, I think the best brands as of now in terms of food and beverage is
I think Ananya's line is disconnected. We'll wait for her to rejoin while we discuss about. I will also give you an insight into how this F&B retail segment is. Like you all know, this segment is uh, especially during the pandemic. Uh, Retail F&B segment has done good business when you compare with the luxury hotels or four-star hotel property outlets. So these chains were able to sell online, sell most of its food online, and they were easily accessible. And one other initiative was these were the first people, first establishments to set these COVID protocols. If you remember, Domino's was the first outlet, as far as I know, in India, when we were all getting scared to order food outside. Domino's was the outlet which promised with safety and sanitation standards, like the sealed food, right? So then on, other retail outlets, retail F&B outlets also started following or taking lead from them and practiced, put into practice these uh, COVID safety standards. And yes, retail F&B segment is one area where I suggest students to look into in the near future, because hotels might be taking a little more time to hire newcomers, say to hire at the entry level positions right now, because there are many people who are waiting to join back into the industry after the layoffs and all. So the one segment that you can look into right now is retail F&B. I would suggest you get your homework done on how to enter into this segment, right? And Ananya had a video with to share. We'll wait for Ananya to join, or else, yeah, it is 4 right now. I'll speak to her later. I'll conclude this session for now, because she wanted to uh, sharply come out of the session by 4. So today I see that we have more than 35 participants. And what I have seen is that most of the participants were NITHM students. And I hope this session has given you an idea into how the restaurant has changed from the pre-COVID scenario to what it is right now. So the restaurants or the management, the hotel managements also had this opportunity to take a break, or say opportunity to stop for a while, think, brainstorm, and reinvent their operations to suit to the changing demands of the current situation. And this will and hotels, I am sure that hotels will keep evolving as and when the scenarios keep changing. Nothing is as you see, the future is very volatile, and hotels have good people, good teams to take control over the situation, and make policies then and there to suit the emerging challenges. Okay, so I was audible till now. I hope I was audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um, so I request, let's conclude this session. Just a minute. I'm getting a call from Ananya. Let me talk to her.
Nestled in a sprawling campus spread across 26 acres in the IT district of Hyderabad, National Institute of Tourism and Hospitality, NITHM, is one such institution that is preparing world-class professionals for more than a decade.
Students, Ananya is joining the session, so we'll wait for her to join. If you have any more questions, she will be happy to answer your queries. Uh, she's joining us back. She has a small video presentation to be shared. Uh, we're waiting for her to join back. Meanwhile, I expected some good questions from students. You could have asked any question, right? Any question related to job opportunities. Because when I took the feedback, most of the feedback was on how the industry will be in the future. So she's open to answer all your questions. It can be from tourism arena as well. She can answer your queries. Meanwhile, I request the participants who are joining us today, uh, who are not the students of NITIM, I request them to leave their email IDs in the chat box. So it would let me send you the feedback forms after this event. Yeah. Meanwhile, let me answer this question by Venkata Krishna Reddy. He's asked a question. People who came out of the hotel industry. Yeah, we have Ananya Dwivedi. I will better ask Ananya to answer this question. Hi, Miss Ananya. Can you hear me? Yeah, Ananya, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Audible to you now?
Yeah, let me answer this question from what people from industry have told me. Uh, Man the restaurant at the restaurants and hotels. Ananya, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, Kiran.
Yeah,
Can
there is
you
a
hear me
question
now?
in the chat box. Yes, you are audible now. There is a question in the chat box by Venkata Krishna Reddy. Are you able to see that?
Okay. Allow me that.
Or else I can read it out for you. Shall I?
Yes, if you can read it out to me.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
people who came out of the hotel industry after working for some time, can he go back to hotels as it with the same enthusiasm like how when they started their career? I'm sure some people may like to leave hotels for a certain period of time. So this is what he was asking.
Mhm.
Absolutely, Vic. I think it's a good thing. We would definitely like to take our people back. And and I think it depends upon you if you would like to come back, because I'm sure that after working for a little bit hours, and then would you like to join somewhere else when you join back? I don't think so. I've seen very few people who have joined hotels back.
Okay.
But if you really wanted to join back, people do take you consider, and sometimes actually consider you for for actually a promoted position, because once you go out, you have a greater idea about what's happening out. So it's not a very to work back. I think there is not a problem in that.
Okay. So the we have a message from you that your bandwidth is low. Anyway, do you have? You said you have a video to play. Could you share that video, please?
Correct. Absolutely. I have already shared the video with you, Kiran.
Is it on WhatsApp?
Yeah. So I've actually screen recorded and given it to you if you want to play that.
Yeah.
Dining trends across the world have undergone major changes post-COVID-19. Restaurants have resorted to innovative ways to make our dining experience safe and enjoyable. Take a look at the creative ways in which restaurants are adapting to new social distancing norms. Dining trends across the world have undergone major changes post-COVID-19. Restaurants have resorted to innovative ways to make our dining experience safe and enjoyable. Take a look at the creative ways in which restaurants are adapting.
So I just want to tell you what's the video all about. By the time Kiran puts it on, so the video is all about what ways we are trying to cope up, and we are just trying to fill up the gap of the guests who are not there. You know, there have been multiple restaurants in the world who have suffered, and I want to bounce back and wanted to achieve the same targets which they used to have before, and wanted to have the same happiness in their restaurants respectively. So they have done something new and creative so that whosoever comes down to the restaurant feels good and feels happy about it. So that's the video.
Dining trends across the world have undergone major changes post-COVID-19. Restaurants have resorted to innovative ways to make our dining experience safe and enjoyable. Take a look at the creative ways in which restaurants are adapting to new social distancing norms. A cafe in Dubai uses teddy bears as a social distancing tool. Healthy Little Secrets in DIFC has placed teddies to accompany diners. The teddies are also used to indicate seats that can't be used. Plus, hotels in Washington and Germany added doors to empty tables, and this was done to provide company to diners. This trend is followed by the Inn at Little Washington and Hotel Hasse in Hanover. Restaurants with high-end attires are using screens for social distancing. Plastic shields from ceilings surround each diner, preventing interaction. A cafe in Germany built a chute to deliver food. The barista makes the coffee and lowers it through the chute. This prevents interaction between the customer and staff. The to accommodate the customers, and the tables have wheels, allowing the diners to move at a 6-foot distance. A coffee shop in Germany is offering pool noodle hats for customers. Headgear is made of swimming pool noodle clothes. This helps customers to maintain distance from each other. Some restaurants across the world are using robots as waiters. The robots do it all, from taking orders to serving. In South Korea, a robot not only takes orders but also makes coffee for customers. A restaurant in Australia uses cardboard cutouts on tables. This way, diners don't feel like they're eating in an empty restaurant. The Gyalpi Bhavan Bangalore top dosa joint opted for glass panels to distance diners. The restaurant is running trials to install see-through panels on tables.
So I think this is one of the videos which I felt really nice about. They have actually put down these small things so that it becomes very engaging to the guest who comes down to your restaurant. Then they actually feel welcome. That there are a lot of people inside around you. So it's just an alternative, being creative, and hospitality is all about being happy. So it's just all these small things. I think making people sit for 6 months at home gets you all these things out. So yes, that's one of the things. Anything else anybody wants to ask or anybody wants to have?
I think there are no more questions. Yeah. There are no more questions. But yes, like you said, every one of us are waiting for the industry to open up. Also at home, at the personal front also, everyone are eager to go out for a small vacation or at least dine out, because all the states have been through this complete lockdown, I should say. And now the relaxation is happening. And yes, to put less strain on the hoteliers, there should be some awareness that we should not flock together. We should not rush for our regular to come back to our normal situation. So we have to take it easy, go slow, and only then. Yes, restaurants are going to be opening. They are going to come back, and they are getting back to normal as they were in pre-COVID. So they are open for us. We just give some time. Don't rush to hotels right now. Yes, for occasions we can always visit a restaurant. And I think we are running out of time. It's already 4:20, and it was a very good session, Miss Ananya. And I hope the students also got an insight into how the day-to-day operations are going on and what challenges you face. And it's always good for the students to know the changing patterns in the working style, or say, which will always give them confidence when they prepare themselves to face some interviews ahead. Because mostly, if when they are going ahead for interviews, it's all about this situation that they have faced. So it's good to keep them informed, or to let them know what is happening at the revenue side, or say at the operations side. So no better person would have helped us out in giving information on this area, because you are day in and day out, you've been brainstorming, and you've been giving ideas or getting ideas from people around you, and you shared all that with us today. And hope it is a great learning for the students as well, and they will use it at some point of time in the near future. at least for their interviews when they are facing it. And yes, thank you once again, Ms. Ananya, for being a guest speaker and delivering your expert knowledge to our students. Yeah.
Thank you, Kiran, for having me here.
Thank you, thank you, Ananya. I'll get back to you. I'll call you back. Call you back after some time. Yeah.
Take care. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
National Institute of Tourism and Hospitality Management, nurturing excellence, serving success.